Like university is probably the biggest thing for progressing in yourself rather than just kind of like a degree. I feel like obviously you go to uni for a degree, but I feel like it's not just a degree you get. I think like degrees maybe like 40% of it, and 60% is making yourself as a person. Like I think how independent I am now, I would never be like that right now if I didn't go to uni, if I didn't leave home. And I think you'll notice some people that'll go to uni, but they'll stay at home whilst they're at uni. They won't be as independent as what they would if they actually moved out, because obviously you have that whole comfort zone of thinking I'm going to stay at home because that's what I know and it's more safer option. But if you kind of bite the bullet and think, you know what, I'm going to kick myself out, I'm going to go to uni, I'm going to go out my comfort zone, you end up putting yourself in a situation you never thought you'd be in before, and then you'll come out of it like so much of a better person. And I think like more people need to try that.
Well, Liam's a bit of a motivational speaker. What's that thing you say to Ozzy every morning?
Oh yeah. It's really I actually love this quote, but it's actually really annoying because I keep on repeating it because I have a bit of a obsessive behaviour.
Yeah, just let everyone know. Once when Liam gets a hold of a quote, he'll like hold on to it for about a year until it really annoys everyone. Then he'll get a new one. Go on, you got to do it in the voice. Do the voice.
Tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Cause all you guys today, so get out of bed. I mean, I say that, and I'll literally lay in for like hours in the morning. I'll probably like get out at like 11, but yeah, it's a good quote. I think even though it's like a funny kind of thing that I'm saying at the moment, I feel like subconsciously it's helping me actually wake up in the morning. So
yeah, do you do that? Do you say that kind of stuff to yourself for everything in life, or?
I don't know, because obviously everyone has like hard bits, don't they? But
I say that kind of stuff to myself if I don't want to work out. I say to myself, no one will ever love me if I don't work out.
Oh my god!
I say to myself, no one.
Jeez.
I look in the mirror and say, no one will love you, you fat fuck, if you don't work out.
Oh my god! I'm sure they will.
Yeah, not the people that want to love me.
Oh my god!
But would you say uni's like worth it in the grand scheme of things? Because 20 years ago, I probably would have said it is worth it, but now because of YouTube and Skillshare, we can learn so much. Obviously, you can't become a doctor on YouTube or Skillshare, but let's say if you wanted let's say if you went into uni and you really wanted to just learn how to draw or learn a camera, you could probably learn all that stuff from either being self-taught or Skillshare.
Oh yeah,
which will cost you so much less than $9,000 a year.
Yeah, 100%. I think the only good thing though main good thing about uni with like creative arts stuff like that is obviously you get access to facilities that you'd pay loads for if you didn't go uni, and then obviously you wouldn't have the connections that you would have made because obviously the teachers and stuff that you were friends with and everyone else that you would have made friends with, like colleagues and stuff, you would have made those connections, and I think those are strong connections to keep with because they might not be doing something now, but in a year's time they could be like a CEO or something like that, and because you went to uni and you're friends with them, they might be like, oh well, Elijah or Liam or whatnot is in this area, let's get in contact with them, and then that's how something happens. So it's like you can learn the skill at home, but it's so much more beneficial going to uni for the connections and the facilities you get to use.
No, I thought it was always best just like socially, like just to get out of your bubble. Secondary school, primary school, and college. If you go, you build up a tight network of friends, and it's like a group of 6 friends that you're so close to. You're so scared to even like leave and get a new place to meet new friends. But even if you don't make great friends in the first week, like at least you'll learn to like put yourself up there, and you'll know that. If you move away once at uni, you know you can move away again.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think as well, it's really, really hard to go back home after uni. Yeah. Obviously, like me and you both know that because obviously,
because your independence is stripped. You feel like a child again.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think you kind of go to uni, you get that whole experience of you become your own. Your time management. You are literally managing it. You haven't got your mum or dad or whatever in the morning saying, "Oh, dinner's ready," or breakfast, or you have to do this, that, and the other because. And realistically, you're the adult now, and you've got to kind of pack your attitude in and get stuff done. And like, no one's going to be there telling you what to do because obviously your lessons theoretically they are mandatory, but they're not in a way. So if you're not going to turn up, that's on you. And I feel like loads of people kind of need to. It's good for people to get in that habit of managing their own time as soon as possible. So I think it's really good to be able to move out and stick through it, especially at uni, just so then you can kind of go into that adulting life quite easier, if that makes sense.
That's why when I look back on it now, I wish basically the teachers can't say it, but they basically say first year doesn't count.
Oh yeah.
And I really wish they made it count, because otherwise, like I feel like why am I paying this for a year, and also if you start off in first year and think, oh, it doesn't count, so I can just go out clubbing every night, and I did that. I'm not gonna lie, I did that. But if I had been told this will count your grade, it would have already got me in the mindset of manage my time more. And yeah, I can have fun, but I also need to get in that headspace a bit more. I feel like I wasted time a lot in first year. I had loads of fun, but I also, in terms of my development and in my course, I could have done so much more.
I guess the only good argument to say for first year not counting is obviously with us moving out and stuff like that, it's good for us to kind of, start doing all those new social habits that we're going to be getting into in first year while it doesn't count, because obviously probably not going to be that interested in wanting to go to lessons and stuff, because obviously we've got all this new freedom in a new city or whatever. But I definitely agree with your point there, because obviously it's like you're paying like $9,000 a year theoretically just to mess about, and obviously it's not just messing about. Obviously you do work and stuff like that, but it does get to a point where you think, well, this first year's not counting, and it does lack motivation in you. But then it's like, I guess in the other sense, if you're motivated about what you want to do and you're passionate about it, then I guess it won't really matter if first year doesn't count, because you're still going to strive as much as you would in second or third year for it counting. But then obviously, like, you get some people, like in my course at uni, like I think some people literally only joined the course literally just for freshers.
Yeah, I think if I could go back into my first day body, I'd just say to myself, just don't get involved in the temptation of uni. Like the biggest temptation is when you're dependent, especially if you're a young single guy. It's like, oh, I can go on nights out and I can like get
ordering Domino's.
Yeah, and I can get girls, exactly. And I realised that I was spending way too much time, like, because I came from the countryside where I can never have a girl around, and I had no success whatsoever. So I found myself in this city centre full of girls my own age, and that was just such a strong temptation. And I wish I had just told myself, oh, okay, just calm down a bit and focus on the reason you're actually here. Because looking back on it now, I just wasted so much time going on nights out trying to like go on the pool.
Yeah, but that's the thing as well, is that you can dwell on that, or you can think of it in the sense of like you've realised that, because if you didn't do that, maybe you'd be doing that right now, or like also
unless I had a kid.
Oh god, yeah, exactly. But like I think the thing is as well, it's like what, especially with me as well, like I kind of find like, oh, I kind of wish I didn't do this years ago or whatever, and then it's like, well, actually, if you didn't make that mistake years ago or whenever it was, you'd probably make it later on in life, and then you'd think, oh crap, I'm at the stage in life where I can't be making these mistakes. But it's like, oh, thank God, actually, I made that mistake those years ago. I know not to ever do that again, and I know what to now work on. So it is one of those really bittersweet kind of scenarios, really, where you do feel like, oh crap, I've made these mistakes, and then you do feel low and down about it, and you beat yourself up about it. But in reality, like, mistakes are one of the main like kind of people building solutions, and like you need to make mistakes to kind of perfect what you want to do in life and how you're going to be doing things. Because I think you'll see the most successful person, unless they were born into a rich family and handed to them, then they've probably made loads and loads of mistakes. I
wonder who we're thinking of.
Oh god, but yeah, you probably like you would have made so many mistakes to really really rich people, successful people would have made so many mistakes and hardships to be able to get to where they are now. And obviously, like I think, like no one really sees that. All they see is like what they are now. But behind every really successful person, what I'd like to think anyway, is a lot of like muck ups.
I think relationships really get tested and fucked over with at uni as well. I think even people that are really in love, or a lot of people don't even want to get into relationships when they get to uni because there's so many options. Like going to uni is like going to like a ice cream shop, and there's just so many flavours. And some people like feel like, oh, this is my time to like be experimental and try and have fun. And there are some people out there who want to find like love of their life at uni.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been single my whole life, so I wouldn't really be able to give an opinion on it. But I would probably still say to myself, my younger self, yeah, stay single and focus on your grades.
Yeah. Because that's the thing as well. It's like it's really hard if you obviously I wasn't looking for a relationship at uni, because obviously I wasn't one until second year. But it's just like I feel like university, like, I mean, people can disagree with me if they want to, but personally I think university is probably one of the worst times to try and find a relationship, because everyone is there just getting into a brand new comfort zone, new routine, new blah 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 blah. And I think
everyone's getting drunk every weekend, everyone's young and beautiful, and everyone's just like lusting over each other.
Yeah, and like the thing as well,
it's just a big pit of everyone being attracted to each other.
Yeah, and I think like if someone's like getting in a relationship like really fast at uni with someone they've just met, that's when it gets into that dangerous stage of those two are now relying on each other in uni.
Yeah.
They're not actually doing what they've kind of left home to do, because that comfort zone they were in at home, they've now found that again, but in someone else, and they're just now isolating themselves from actually doing those social aspects that university has to offer, because they'd rather stay at home with this new girlfriend or boyfriend that they've just met, when realistically they should be at uni. Kind of, well, I mean, people can do whatever they want. This is just personally what I personally think. But I feel like at university you're here to kind of be independent and do you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, make mistakes, do new things, meet new people, blah, 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 blah. And I like, if I came to uni single, like, I generally would not be interested in having a relationship, because the thing is as well, it's like, you have no idea what that person's going to be wanting to do in a year time, 2 years time, because it's like different courses are so different. I
was always thinking the 3 years ahead, thinking like, am I actually going to still be in the city?
Well, yeah, exactly.
After the uni, if this girl wants me to stay.
And it's like, you never know what's going to come around the corner. It's like, you could literally get in a relationship, and then next week they might be like, oh, you're at Leisure, mate, I've got an internship for you here. Exactly. And you're like, oh, sorry, I've literally now got to go to London or something like that.
Have that awkward conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like you need to kind of cut that barrier straight off. And, like, obviously make really good friends and contacts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would choose like friends over relationships at uni any day.
But I mean, like, say if like you both have the same idea, you both are going to move there, you know for a fact it's 100,000% going to work, then go for it. Yeah, sure. But I feel like at the end of the day, you're just kind of wasting a bit of time if you do just want to go straight into a relationship at uni. You know, unless you know it's definitely going to work. Just because obviously, you know, you're at uni to do you. You're not at uni to go find a relationship with someone. I mean, some people might be, but
yeah, there were so many people I knew at uni. They were in like great relationships with people in the course or with people in other courses, and they looked all fine and dandy on Instagram, and then out of the blue they would break up, and they would suddenly post on Instagram how they were self-improving and they were finding themselves. And then a month later they were with a new person that looked like nearly exact replica of their ex. And some people nowadays just can't stand not being in a relationship. It's almost like they find it like painful.
You know,
I don't mind people that hate being single, but I don't like it when they post on Instagram, oh my god, I'm finding myself, I'm like struggling independent, and then a week later they're dating the same skinny guy that looks exactly like the last guy.
Oh god.
And we know people like that. And I'm not going to say names, but I think you need to sort of, people hate their own company sometimes.
Yeah, and I feel like as well, I think I really think that our whole generation is kind of tricked into the whole false expectation that we all need to be in a relationship. We like me and you said the other week, like, everyone's in a whole false expectation of like seeing people in your year that are married, having kids, in a full-time relationship, or blah 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 blah, you know, in their 20s. And it's like, well, realistically, your 20s is to make mistakes, find yourself, do this, that and the other. And like, do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's kind of thinking, oh, we need to rush and get a relationship, we need to rush and do this, that and the other. And it's like, no, there is no time limit.
Well, it's like people are ready to get in a house.
Yeah, and it's like...
Well, it's like, there are people who grew up where we are in Devon, and they're getting a house in Devon. I'm like, but you've never even moved away. You've never seen another country. You've never, like, how do you know in 10 years from now, if you go on a holiday in Bristol or Spain, you realise, oh shit, why did I get a house there 10 years ago when I wanted to, like, who knows, maybe get a house there? Like, why are you limiting your options so much? You need to go out there and live a bit more.
And to be fair as well, I guess, like, the majority of people that are like that, though, are those that have... No, but then there's also those that have just left school and have gone straight into a full-time job. They haven't gone to uni or college to be able to go out of that company. They don't know any different. Yeah. So, and like the things as well, it's like you could say to them, "Oh, try this, that, and the other," and they'll might not be interested in it at all because they haven't had the opportunity or like thought process to be able to think what it could be like. But obviously, it's not for everyone, and you know what I mean.
I guess for them, they've never known anything different. So if we had not gone to uni and just started working full-time job, we'd probably be quite content just staying here.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it doesn't make them like better or worse than us. We just had a different perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, you know what I mean? Like we lived in Bristol for like 3 years, so we know that we could live there.
Life than just Devon.
But then if you haven't moved out or away from your city, you'll just think, oh, Bristol's a good night out, innit? Let's go there for a night out every now and then. But you wouldn't ever think of the whole, why would I want to move there kind of thing? Because obviously you don't realise, I feel like you really don't realise what opportunities other cities have until you actually go there, because properly to go there for like a week or something like that. So I would recommend that people, you know, if you have free time and stuff like that, why not book a week in like London or Manchester or Bristol or something just have a look, because obviously it's like
no idea what can happen.
Yeah, exactly, because it's like, we're from Exeter obviously, And it's like,
nothing happens.
the things where we used to think that so much was going on.
Exeter was the shit.
No, yeah, Exeter was so good. Like I used to think, oh my god, it's so good. And then obviously going to uni for the first time.
And Bristol's not even that much bigger.
Yeah, and Bristol was the second city I ever visited, obviously next to Exeter, where we're from. And then I thought, oh my god, Bristol's amazing. Look at all these opportunities. And then I visited Manchester, and I was like, oh my god, look at these opportunities. And then you visit London, then you visit Birmingham, blah 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 blah. And then
even like when we went to Tenerife. Like remember when we came back from Tenerife and you honestly wanted to like try and become like the club guys.
Yeah.
You wanted to go to another country a week later.
Yeah.
You tried another flavour of life.
Yeah, because you get that.
You need to think of life as like flavours. You don't want to just. Do you really want to try vanilla until you're 85 and dying?
Yeah, you get that enthusiasm.
Like all the old people, they always talk about all the things they didn't do.
Because I think it is that stereotype though of kind of staying in your comfort zone and not kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like I really do think that people need to kind of be pushed and emphasised more on being individual and trying their new things and stuff like that, and not trying to copy. Because it's one. Do you know what I mean? Like I really want a relationship. I know I want kids and a wife and stuff like that, but. Right now, no. I want, like, for the next few years, I want to be focusing on myself and, like, I want to travel and stuff like that. I know right now, physically impossible because we're in a bloody pandemic. But I think everyone needs to get out that whole stereotype of, I need to get a husband or a wife or I need to have kids or I need to, I need to drive by. Because, you know what I mean? Like, some people will be driving at 17 and then they'll look at a 20-year-old and say, why aren't you driving yet? And it's like, well... my life, or it's like my life's completely different to yours. So
couldn't afford it.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, and then I think everyone gets kind of confused by that, and then that's when the whole judgmental status comes in of I'm doing stereotypical stuff. Why aren't you doing stereotypical stuff? And it's like, well, no, you shouldn't have to feel like you need to be a stereotype. You can do whatever you want to do. Don't look at someone else's life and think. They've got a nice life. Let's try and be exactly like them. No, actually find yourself and make your own self the best life possible. And then someone can look at you and then think, wow, they're having a really good life, but they're really different to all those other people. Like, I want, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I know I don't have the perfect life, but I want to try and make my life as perfect as it can be, and even though perfect's impossible. And I'm not going to get that unless I try to...
Yeah, just about the journey to try and get perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Because
along the way, you'll step back and realise, oh shit, I improved so much when I was trying to get there.
Yeah, because it's like, you know what I mean? I could rush in and do all those stereotypical things, like really quickly go into a full-time job or, quickly get a relationship, kids, wife, whatever. Yeah, but then I'll always be thinking, what if
I could have done that?
Yeah, what if I could have done this, that and the other? And then you'll always be thinking, and I think just keep on doing you until you then think, you know what, now I'm happy to do that. Now I'm happy to settle down and do this, that and the other. Don't settle for it before you're actually ready to settle for it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think that's one of the few benefits of